Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share something with you super quick and super easy, but something that we absolutely love around here. I am a big fan, all of us are, of restaurant style salsa. You know the kind, when you go to a really good Mexican restaurant and they bring over their salsa with chips, it's like probably one of the best things in the entire world, especially when you're really hungry because you know it's going to be there pretty much as soon as you sit down. I love making it at home so much. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't even compare to the jarred stuff that you buy at the grocery store. And really, the ingredients on it are not many, and they probably are the kind of ingredients you already have on hand. So I wanted to share it with you because it's just easy and it's a great appetizer or something to munch on. What I have here are some diced tomatoes. Now these are diced tomatoes with peppers and onions in them, which I think makes all the difference, and I'll talk about this in just a minute. You need a nice handful of cilantro. I leave the thin stalks in there and everything. You need a small yellow onion, lime, jalapeno that I've seeded, few small cloves of garlic, then I've got cumin, sugar, oregano. You're also going to need some salt, and I'm going to show you how I like to bake my tortillas to make like really good crispy tortilla chips without having to fry them. I know that this recipe is by no means revolutionary, and I'm not even going to call it a recipe. What I want you to take from this is that if you really love good restaurant style salsa, you can make it at home with ingredients you probably already have on hand. Now, a lot of people will tell you to use canned plum tomatoes to make salsa, and you can. I don't like to do that. I like to get the diced kind that has onions and peppers in them, but particularly the diced kind because it doesn't have as much seeds. The whole plum tomatoes in a can, although convenient and wonderful in so many different ways, here, because we're not cooking the salsa, I just feel like it's overwhelmingly seedy if you use those. That's why I don't like to use those. I like to use the diced kind. Sure, there are some seeds in there anyway, but it's nowhere near as much, and seeds can be bitter, so that's why I prefer this, and the peppers and the onions just give you additional flavor. Okay, this is really easy and really simple. I'm going to use a food processor. You can also use a blender if you want to. Just be careful you don't take it too far with the blender because it can turn into a puree. Add your tomatoes. You can see the peppers and the onions. You see that? That's all good stuff. Then you need cilantro, coriander, whatever you call it. Then your garlic, of course, your jalapeno. If you are feeling fierce, as I'm sure you are, you want to do 2 jalapenos. And if you are feeling like slaying life, you're going to want to leave the seeds in. I am not that brave because some jalapenos can be so spicy. So I used 1 and I de-seeded because it can be really, really spicy, and that I don't care for that. My onion, I just kind of chopped it into rough chunks. Then you need the juice of 1 lime, and this is really nice and juicy, which makes me happy. There's nothing worse than when you get a lime that just isn't juicy enough. I want a whole lime in there. And you also want to preheat your oven to 375 so that you can make your chips. But I will say, if you can make the salsa in the morning and let it sit in the fridge to marinate and just to kind of get to know, all the flavors get to know each other, it's even better. Oh, I forgot, I lost my salt. I somehow, excuse me, here I am. I somehow forgot to put my salt out. A heavy pinch of salt. Now you also have a heavy pinch of sugar in there because remember, you're not cooking the salsa, and there's a lot of acidity in canned tomatoes or in tomatoes in general, but specifically canned tomatoes, so you want to balance that with a little bit of sugar. I'm going to put the top on and pulse this until it's nicely and finely chopped. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put this into a large bowl. And now, like I said, at this point, you really want to pop this into the fridge for a while because it just gets better and better as it sits. Get it all out of there. And I want you to see the gorgeous consistency. Look at that. And what I love to do, this is off topic, but you know, we're friends like that. Any leftover salsa that you feel like, meh, I just don't feel like, you know, eating it. What you do is you put it in a pan with a little bit of water and you poach some chicken in there. That chicken will be so wonderful. I might have to make, do you want a recipe on that? Let me know because it is so good. Okay, salsa is done. I'm going to set this aside. Now, my chips is sort of a cheat chip. Now, traditionally, when you go to a really good restaurant, you know they give you where I go anyway, they give you a basket of fried chips, nice and hot and salty. Oh, so good. But At home, I really try not to fry unless I absolutely have to. It's not something I do often. So this is what I love to do with my leftover corn tortillas. I take each corn tortilla, I brush each side with a little bit of veg oil. Vegetable oil is best, otherwise it's got a really strong flavor. And I kind of stack them like this because it makes it easier to cut, like so. Perfect. And for 6 tortillas, I ended up using less than a tablespoon of oil, which is great. Then you take a knife, and what I do is, because these are small, I just cut them in quarters, like that, like so. And then you just put them on a single layer on a non-stick baking sheet. And my oven's preheated to 375, and you just need to keep an eye on them because these will take about 8 to 10 minutes, something like that. And you can use corn tortillas, you could use regular tortillas, you could use, I don't know, whatever tortilla floats your boat, really. It's your life. Whatever you like, you eat. Whether it's whole wheat, white corn, yellow corn, regular, the world is your pickle. Well, technically we're not making pickles, we're eating pickles, but you get my drift. I'm just gonna pop these into the oven until they crisp up a bit, and then I will show you what they look like when they are done. Oh, one more. My chips were in the oven for 10 minutes, my salsa's ready, and I am gonna dig in. Do let these cool for a little bit. When they come out of the oven, they crisp up, and then also as soon as they come out, hit them with a little bit of salt so that it sticks to them. My mouth is salivating. I love that. I love my salsa chunky. I like pieces of stuff running through it. It's phenomenal. And then this really is like your base. And then from here, you can do so many different things to it. It's not even funny. It's awesome. This is happiness right here. I like to serve it in a bigger dish. This is perfect for Joe and I. Put some chips in here. You've got your limes if you want a little extra lime for your salsa or for your margarita. Whatever your heart desires. I'm going to go back in for seconds because, like I said, this is just for Joe and I. And it is amazing. I hope you love it. I hope that you make a big bowl of it this weekend for your friends when they come over. You don't have to go through the trouble of baking your own chips. I just always happen to have tortillas on hand, either in the pantry or in the freezer, so it's easy for me to throw them together on a weeknight. Get a nice big bag of really good quality chips, make some restaurant style salsa, make some margaritas, whether they're virgin margaritas or regular margaritas. I actually have both recipes on my website already. And just have an awesome time. It is the season of chips and dips and fun stuff on the patio in the backyard is here, and I want you to take full advantage of that. Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com for this recipe along with many, 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 many others. Let me know what kind of salsa is your favorite. Perhaps I can make it here very soon, and I'll see you next time. Bye!